Hi everyone, my name is Selena Belisle and I am the founder and one of the board approved CE providers here at CE Institute, where we teach myofascial release. And today I wanted to review two different types of myofascial strokes with you. First, we're going to review J stroking, and then we're going to review something that I created over 25 years ago called alphabet stroking. Now, I love J stroking because whenever we're practicing, we don't necessarily want to be digging or pushing with our thumbs all the time. That's how we ruin our thumbs and develop workplace injury, okay? And I've recently been looking at some of the myofascial instruction that's out there, and I was really surprised to see some techniques where our instructors are pushing with the thumbs in opposing directions. And your thumbs are not made for pushing. Your thumbs are made for opposition. So what's nice about the J stroke is it's an opposing stroke. You're closing your hand, and that's better body mechanics for your hands. Your hands are your most valuable tools, so make sure you protect them at all times. If you are practicing the alphabet stroking and you're finding that your proximal interphalangeal joint is hyperextending with applying pressure, then go ahead and do the brace technique with the alphabet stroking that we're going to show you. And you should maybe keep on flexing your fingers. Remember, your fingers in your hands are made for opposition, for grasping, not for pushing. So we don't necessarily want to push. And when you are pushing, maybe flex with that pressure, and that's going to help that natural movement and avoid workplace injury. Now, when it comes to working with fascia, what we're trying to do is take thicker fascia and separate it, stretch it, make it thinner. Okay, that's kind of the whole purpose of myofascial release. Hopefully you'll have a chance to take some of our training at our school. This is a unit from our pre-recorded myofascial release self-paced home study that we're offering right now online. So without further ado, let's review J stroking and myofascial release and how it works with fascia. This is a picture of a cadaver dissection, and they are separating the fascia, doing a very good job of it, from the muscle. So this is myofascia because it's encasing and wrapping muscle, thus myofascia, and our goal is to provide myofascial release. We want to take the many tendrils that make up that fascial sheath right there and separate them. So how would you get those tendrils thinner? Let's think of some of the body work techniques that we can do. One of the myofascial body works, and this is like a staple foundation of myofascial body work, is something called a J stroke. And right now we're going to do J stroking on ourselves. Let me show you how it's done. Let's work on the anterior part of our chest and shoulders, because a lot of us have anteriorly rotated shoulders, as most of us who are taking this training are Americans, right? And Americans have notoriously bad posture. So let's take and do some J stroking. I'm going to put on a sleeveless top, and hopefully you will too right now. You can pause this training if you need to do so and change. And let's start some J stroking. So your myofascial J stroking looks like this, okay? You have your hand, and it looks like a J, right? When we do our J stroking, you're simply going to flex these three fingers, your thumb, your pointer, and your middle finger, kind of all at the same time. And it looks like this. Ready? You're just going to close them together, and that's your J stroking. So you have your fingers open and then close. Open, and there's kind of like a twist with it too, right? So go ahead and do this with me right now. That's your J stroking. Let's be ambidextrous with this. Take your second hand. Okay, you have your thumb, your pointer, and your middle finger together, and close them together. Your J stroking. Now I'm going to start J stroking on my chest, okay? We're going to take that J with our fingers, 3 fingers, and we're going to twist and close at the same time. So it looks like this. Ready? I'm going to take your hand. You have your J here, right? And you're just going to close together and twist. And you can see the skin lifting, right? Close together and twist. You can do another angle. Close together and twist. Close together and twist. Do this with me. Ready? You have your J, your pointer, middle, and thumb. You're going to close together and twist. Close together and twist. Close together and twist. Hopefully you're doing this with me. Let's work out to the anterior shoulder. Close together and twist. When you do this, you're grabbing not only the superficial fascia, but the deeper fascia that's encasing the muscles, the myofascia. Close together and twist. Sometimes just let up. I'm doing this dry skin, okay? Close together and twist. You don't need lotion to do this. It's probably better without lotion. Close together and twist. We'll go over to the other arm. We'll make our J, okay? Place it on the skin, and you're going to close together and twist. Close together and twist. This is J stroking. Close together and twist. And come to the front of the shoulder. Close together and twist. Close together and twist. Back to the chest. Close together and twist. Close together and twist. You don't do this directly over adipose or the breast tissue, just over the skin where there's muscle, because this is supposed to be myofascial release. Close together and twist. Close together and twist. You can pull this fascia off from the sternum with your thumb. Try not to be across on the opposite side of the sternum, but probably right over the sternum. Close together and twist. I'll go the other direction. Ready? Close together and twist. So if you look at what J stroking really is, it's simply twisting the soft tissues above muscle. And what I thought of like 25 years ago is, why are we just using the J to do this? I like to do something in addition to J stroking called alphabet stroking. I used to work on the Iron Workers Union. And matter of fact, my company, Massage Works Inc., we had a contract with the Iron Workers Union for the Big Dig in Boston. And these iron workers, they're working, you know, the union paid for as much massage as they wanted. There was no limit on it. They could have endless massage because they needed them there working overtime, digging underneath the city of Boston to dig the big tunnel that now travels underneath it. It was way behind, millions of dollars behind schedule. And a lot of the union workers, they were just destroyed physically. Their body was, you know, they couldn't move anymore, never mind work. And what had happened? Well, it was overuse injuries, too much work. And the fascia was really thick in the areas of their overuse injuries. So what did we do? Anywhere, and it was usually the shoulders and the anterior chest where they were just working in front of themselves all day. We did alphabet stroking anywhere we felt the fascia was thicker. We're going to do that right now on our own chest. To apply alphabet stroking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to separate them on one hand, and I'm going to do that over skin. And then I'm going to draw the alphabet with the second hand, A, B, C, D. Now you can do something which I call finger bracing, placing one finger over another to make it stronger. This is what it looks like. So for alphabet stroking, I'm going to take my first hand and I'm going to have like my thumb and my pointer together because I want to open up the skin and stretch the skin and hopefully some of the fascia underneath it right away. So I'm going to take my hand together and now I'm going to separate like that. You see how I did that? Just take your hand and separate and pull the skin apart. Now, with your second hand, and you can brace your finger if you'd like, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start doing the alphabet. When you do the alphabet, you're working in all different directions, right? And that's what we're trying to separate those fascial tendrils. And I don't know if I'm doing these forward or backwards, but now I'm on the letter E. Trying to separate all these fascial tendrils with all this pressure and movement. I'm not necessarily, letter G, I'm not necessarily trying to manipulate muscle. I'm trying to stretch those soft tissues above the muscle in all different directions. Letter I, and I'm doing all capital letters. Letter J, I can come in here and do a J stroke. Letter K. And when we're doing the alphabet stretching, my mental intention is to thin those trunks and tendrils of the fascia. Let me start with letter M on the other side. We're going to take our fingers. We're going to separate the skin. I'm going to take our fingers, separate the skin. Wherever, it could be up here on the anterior deltoid, the middle deltoid. Right now we're doing our own chest and so forth. You can do this on your quadriceps right now. You can do it, well, you can't do it on your forearm because you need both hands. I don't think just doing it over loose skin is going to be very helpful. And remember, we want to do myofascia, which is what's encasing the muscle, not the superficial fascia alone right underneath the skin. So we'll take our second hand, go over to the second side here. We're going to separate the skin. We're going to start with letter M. When we go in all different directions, I think that you're going to get more of the myofascial. I'm certain you're going to separate some of those tendrils, make them thinner. Q, R, S, T. And don't worry if your alphabet is a little sloppy. It doesn't need perfection here. V, W. And how's that go? T, U, V, W, Y, Z. Don't worry if you miss an alphabet letter. It does not matter. And there's your alphabet stroking.